Here are today's top stories. The PDP Laban announces their senatorial bet lineup, which includes presidential daughter Inday Sara Duterte and special assistant Bongo. The MMDA suspends the full implementation of the HOV scheme along EDSA pending a meeting with the Metro Manila Council. The dry run, however, will still continue. The City Tourism Office in Puerto Princesa, Palawan sees no adverse effect on tourist arrivals after the UK and Canada issue travel advisories. And Gilas beats Kazakhstan as they start their campaign at the Asian Games in Indonesia. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Marato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel, the third president of the ruling political party PDP Laban, revealed the personalities that may comprise the group's 2019 senatorial slate. Pimentel endorsed from within the political party's special assistant to the president Christopher Lawrence Bongo, Representatives Carlo Nograles, Zajid Mangudadatu, Geraldine Roman, Daquila Cua, Monsur del Rosario, and Alfredo Benitez. Also included were Secretary Francis Tolentino, singer Freddie Aguilar, former TV reporter Jiggy Manicad, and Senator Pimentel himself. Meanwhile, from outside the organization, the PDP Laban is considering 8 individuals who are friends of the party: Davao City Mayor Inday Sara Z. Duterte, Bureau of Corrections Chief Ronald De La Rosa, actor Robin Padilla, former Senator Lito Lapid, Rafael Alunan, Ramon Tulfo, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, and Representative Pia Cayetano. The PDP Laban leadership is currently setting a meeting with Duterte to finalize the senatorial slate for the approaching May 2019 elections. Malacanang on Thursday assured the economic gains will be sustained, with the Philippine economy forecasted to grow faster in the second half of the year. Palace spokesperson Harry Roque assured the public that the government will sustain these very promising economic numbers for the remaining half of 2018 in order to provide better jobs and more comfortable lives for more Filipinos. Roque said the faster growth expectation by the DOF is supported by an increase in government expenditure, which reached 19.47%, the highest per semester since 2013. He said the government tax collection efforts have resulted in the highest achievement of 15.23% for the first 6 months of 2018. Roque said exports of goods and services picked up to a double-digit growth of 13% for the second quarter compared to 6.5% in the first quarter. DOF Secretary Carlos Dominguez III said this year's second quarter gross domestic product, or GDP, growth of 6% was a mere exception that does not indicate a medium-term trend. Dominguez said although the inflation rate reached 5.7% in July, it actually eased to 0.5% on a month-on-month basis and expected to go down to original forecast range of 4 to 4.5% by the end of the year. The MMDA suspends the full implementation of the HOV scheme along EDSA pending a meeting with the Metro Manila Council. The dry run, however, will still continue. Here's a report.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority has suspended the full implementation of the expanded high-occupancy vehicle scheme along Epifanio de los Santos Avenue on August 23 as the Metro Manila Council is set to deliberate on the policy. However, the agency will continue to conduct its dry run on the traffic scheme on weekdays until August 22. The scheme bans vehicles with only a driver to traverse along EDSA from North Avenue in Quezon City to Magallanes in Makati City from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. during weekdays. MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia said a Senate resolution calling for the suspension of the HOV scheme prompted the decision to defer its full implementation.
Malacanang on Thursday has released the list of regular holidays and special non-working holidays for 2019. President Rodrigo Duterte also signed Proclamation number 555, which includes November 2 and December 24 as additional non-working days. This is to strengthen family ties by providing more time for All Saints' Day, All Souls' Day, and Christmas activities and promote domestic tourism. Meanwhile, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, two major feasts of Islam, will be proclaimed as holidays after the dates have been determined in accordance with the Islamic calendar. Still to come, 4 cities outside Metro Manila have been named among the most competitive in the Philippines, according to the Cities and Municipalities Index 2018. Several flights are canceled after a Chinese commercial plane went off the runway at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues. Four cities outside Metro Manila have been named among the most competitive in the Philippines, according to the Cities and Municipalities Index 2018. Here's a report.
The National Competitive Council, a public-private body that aims to make the Philippines competitive through policy reforms and the like, has picked the most competitive local government units for 2018. For 3 years in a row, Quezon City has retained its #1 spot. Manila remained second, while Pasay took the 3rd place. Davao slipped 1 notch lower to the 4th spot. Outside Metro Manila, Davao and Cagayan de Oro are not the only ones that made it to the 10 most competitive, highly urbanized cities in the Philippines for 2018, as Bacolod and Cebu have joined the roster. Meanwhile, Rizal was named the most competitive province in the country. Legazpi, Albay is the most competitive component city, and Cainta is the most competitive municipality. Iloilo is the most improved, highly urbanized city in the survey, which leapfrogged to rank 11 from rank 32 last year. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
The City Tourism Office in Puerto Princesa City, Palawan sees no adverse effect on tourist arrivals by the travel advisories issued by the United Kingdom and Canada. The Puerto Princesa City International Airport reports that the volume of guests arriving through domestic and international flights remains stable. The UK and the Canadian embassies issued advisories cautioning their citizens visiting Palawan after the Abu Sayyaf kidnapping plot was disclosed on August 11. Meanwhile, Cebu Vice Governor Agnes Magpala expressed concern over the inclusion of Southern Cebu on the British government's latest advisory. Magpala says some Western countries have signified their intention to have a direct flight to Cebu following the opening of the Mactan-Cebu International Airport Terminal 2. The Cebu Provincial Police Office also said there is no terrorism threat in Southern Cebu. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency is monitoring the suspected entry and sale of party drugs, such as ecstasy in the Davao region. PDEA 11 Regional Director Antonio Rivera has issued a warning against personalities who will attempt to smuggle drugs, particularly during the Kadayawan Festival. He says a case buildup is already ongoing against these personalities. Anti-drug measures are also in place to stop the entry of drugs in the region. PDEA says the drugs entering Davao are coming from the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao. Several flights were canceled after a Chinese commercial plane went off the runway at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The aircraft belonging to Xiamen Air, which flew from Xiamen, China to Manila, made a hard landing amid heavy rains before midnight Thursday. No passengers were injured. Flights in the morning were, however, suspended until noon. Meanwhile, several Cebu Pacific flights bound for Hong Kong, Bangkok, and Narita were canceled because of the incident. Flights headed for Manila were diverted to Clark International Airport. Up next, Italy declares a state of emergency in the Liguria region surrounding the northwest city of Inoa a day after the dramatic collapse of a major motorway bridge. Gilas beats Kazakhstan as they start their campaign at the Asian Games in Indonesia. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Pinangunahan ni ARMM Governor Mujib Hataman ang turnover ng mga housing units sa bayan ng Sagyaran, Lanao del Sur nitong 10 ng Agosto. Ang pabahay ay para sa mga pamilyang biktima ng Marawi Siege noong nakaraang taon. Tinatayang aabot sa 180 families ang makikinabang sa mga pabahay na ito na proyekto mula sa Office of the Regional Governor sa pangangasiwa ng 1st District Engineering Office ng Lanao del Sur. Una nang na-turn over ang 36 housing units sa Barangay Lumbaca, Toros na pwede nang tirhan ng mga pamilyang mahigit 1 taong ding sumilong sa mga evacuation centers. Ayon kay Governor Hataman, 20 million pesos ang pondong inilaan sa proyektong ito, kabilang na ang mga pasilidad tulad ng patubig, kuryente at iba pa. Dagdag pa ni Hataman, magpapatuloy ang tulong mula sa pamunuan ng ARMM hanggang sa muling makabangon ang mga biktima ng krisis.
Titiyakin namin ho sa inyo, hindi ito ang hangganan ng serbisyo namin sa kanila. Ganito man ang bahay nila, titiyakin namin, sabi ko nga kay Chief of Staff kanina, pagkatapos nyong ma-turnover, dalhin nyo yung ilang ahensya, pag-aralan kung ano yung kabuhayan na pwede natin ipamigay sa kanila, na pwede tayong bumangon kahit hindi maganda ang bahay natin. Pero ang mahalaga dito sa atin, yung makakain tayo 3 beses sa isang araw, makapag-aral yung anak natin sa tamang eskwelahan.
Sisimulan na rin ang pagpapatayo ng 144 pang mga house units sa Barangay Pantaon. Taos-puso naman ang pasasalamat ng mga pamilyang may matatawag ng tahanan. At isa rito, si Aisa Raja.
Gob, marami po kaming dapat ipasalamat sa iyo. Kasi po una po, ito pong bahay na pabigay mo sa amin, napakalaking bagay po sa amin. Kasi po bakit po? Yung una po nasa tent kami, nag-aalala po kami pag umuulan o bumabagyo o mahangin. Kasi po may time po na nabaksakan yung mga tent namin. Pero ngayon po makakatulog na po kami ng mahimbing.
Kasama rin sa turnover ceremony ang mga lokal na opisyal ng Marawi City at Sagyaran. Mula sa Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao at Bureau of Public Information, ako si Mark Anthony Uy para sa The Working ARMM Government.
For our foreign news, the Italian government has declared a state of emergency in the Liguria region surrounding the northwest city of Genoa a day after the dramatic collapse of a major motorway bridge that cost dozens of victims. About 39 people were so far reported dead in the collapse of the Morandi Bridge last Tuesday. Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte says they approved the state of emergency for the next 12 months. Search and rescue activities are still ongoing at the site of the disaster. Meanwhile, the Department of Foreign Affairs says no Filipinos were harmed in the collapse, but the Filipina and her Italian husband residing at the foot of the bridge were among those told to evacuate. Gilas Pilipinas minus Jordan Clarkson defeated Kazakhstan at the start of their respective campaigns in the Asian Games men's basketball. The 11-man Gilas took advantage of an early start at the first quarter and built up a huge lead to outrun Kazakhstan 96-59. Stanley Pringle, who played for the Indonesia Warriors in the Asian Basketball League, tallied 18 points for 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal in his first game for Gilas. Kristen Hardinger chipped in 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. Anton Baikov led Kazakhstan with 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. 4 congressmen have filed a bill that seeks to make Barangay Ginebra import Justin Brownlee a naturalized Filipino. The group, led by one Pacman party list representative Mikey Romero, praised Brownlee's contributions to the Philippine Basketball Association. The 4 Solons also noted Brownlee's efficient sportive activities, being socially active through community service. A Senate version of the bill, likely to be authored by current Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Chairman Sunny Angara, is yet to be proposed. Brownlee has expressed his intent not only to play for Gilas Pilipinas, but also to live and work in the Philippines. The southwest monsoon, enhanced by tropical storms with international names Sulik and Rumbia, continues to affect Luzon, dumping light to heavy rain in some parts of the country. As of 4 a.m. Friday, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geographical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, said in its 24-hour forecast that Sulik was estimated to be 2,060 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon, with maximum winds of 90 kilometers per hour, the gustiness of 115 kilometers per hour, and moving north at 30 kilometers per hour. Rumbia is 1,150 kilometers northeast of extreme northern Luzon, with gusts of 130 kilometers per hour and moving west-northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. Both Sulik and Rumbia are outside the Philippine area of responsibility. The Weather Bureau said Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Cavite, and Batangas will have cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms caused by the southwest monsoon. The rest of the country will be partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. The PDP Laban announces their senatorial bet lineup, which includes presidential daughter Inday Sara Duterte and Special Assistant Bongo. The MMDA suspends the full implementation of the HOV scheme along EDSA pending a meeting with the Metro Manila Council, but the dry run, however, will still continue. The City Tourism Office in Puerto Princesa City, Palawan sees no adverse effect on tourist arrivals after the UK and Canada issued travel advisories. And Gilas beats Kazakhstan as they start their campaign at the Asian Games in Indonesia. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Have a great, safe, and dry weekend.